I'm going to show you how to draw a few basic shapes and then a few ways to actually go through and edit the shapes once you've actually drawn them. So basically when you're drawing shapes, they're usually all hidden in this rectangle tool submenu here. So you've got rectangle, a rounded rectangle tool, ellipse, and so on and so forth. So don't get confused with ellipse. Is name. It's usually a circle tool, but yeah, ellipse is what it's called. So if you want to draw a circle, just choose the ellipse tool, so don't get confused by its icon there. If you do draw a basic shape, all you need to do is hit whichever kind of shape that you're after. Say we want to do just a basic rectangle. We can click and draw, and you can see that the cursor changed to like a crosshair, and we've clicked and dragged out however we want that shape to be. You can see that the fill I've changed to solid black, and there's no stroke with this color as well. If we want to revert back to a default setting, we can just hit that option in the bottom corner, but we're just going to change this back to black and white. So you can see that those arrows kind of swap the positions between the two. So when we say we can draw out shapes, I want to show you how to do like a quick copy option. Say for example, I'm drawing maybe like a nice sort of circle, and we want this to be like the yellow of the sun, for example, but we'll just change the color to like a nice sort of yellow. Cool. So I'm using the selection tool here, by the way, to actually click and move these objects. If I want to copy and paste this object, for example, a couple of times, there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can click on the object and just go Apple or Control C, and then Apple or Control V. And Control V will paste the object. So I'm hitting Control C and then Control V. So it's pasted it there twice. If I want to actually make it easier while I don't want to go Control C and Control V and go, edit copy and then paste in place or paste in front, that sort of thing. If I just want to make a quick copy, I can just click on the shape and go hold Option or Alt. You can see that the mouse changes to a double mouse. Click and drag. I'm still holding Alt. I've let go of the mouse and the key, and then it's made another copy. So I can do this multiple times. And just make it easy for me to do it that way. So you can see that the cursor changes when I'm clicked on the object. I'm clicked on the object and I'm holding Alt now, letting go, holding, and then holding Alt still and letting go of the mouse, now letting go of Alt. So hopefully that makes a bit of sense. If I say I want to draw a rectangle with, say, for example, like a rounded edge at the top here, like a tower sort of thing, for like maybe let's just say a resume document. Oops. I'll just resize that very quickly. Cool, so we want to just round one of the edges to make this like a cool sort of document. The way you can do that is using the direct selection tool. So let's just say I just want the bottom, this corner to be rounded, so we're going to make this a bit more stylistic. All you need to do is select the direct selection tool, click on the shape, or highlight the corner you want to edit, and it will only highlight this point here. You can see that the cursor changed, and I can click and drag and just kind of drag at freewheel there as well. So you've got like a nice cool like graphic element to like an A4 document, for example. If I want to say edit maybe another point or these two top points, I can use the direct selection tool and highlight all points at the top, or if I want to do the whole doc, I can just do all 4 points. But for example, we're just going to do the top 2 points. So I'm just going to do that, and it's edited. Okay. Say maybe this is like a nice, cool breakout speech bubble here for like a nice, clean document. And I want to make this maybe a bit skinnier in width. So I want to drag it and then actually make it a bit skinny. Illustrator is not going to let me do that because the shape is basically edited in its place. It's going to allow me to draw this out, but it's not going to retain its shape. Alright, so it's a nice big speech bubble, but say for example I want to make this a bit skinnier. Oops. And kind of make it a bit skinnier, then maybe do like a speech bubble. So I want to make this skinnier. The way we can do that is going over to the Pathfinder, which is usually if you hit Window and Pathfinder, otherwise I've got this here. So if I hit Window and Pathfinder, you can usually find it here. Just go over to Pathfinder and go Unite. This way you can see that those points have disappeared. And action, I can edit this as I wish. If I want to resize this, I can just hover over this and make it smaller as well. So it's a cool little way to do editing of objects to make things look a bit nicer. So you can see how that kind of works for documents. What else was there? Yeah, and then if you're wanting to use like a polygon tool, for example, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can click and draw these objects. If you want more sides, you can hit the up and down key on your arrow keyboard and kind of go all the way down to a triangle, or do as many sides as you'd like on this object here. I'll probably explain one more thing as well while I'm here, is I would say the flare tool. You probably won't really need to use that too often, but I would say when you're resizing objects, always remember you can click on each of these tags on each of the corners of the object and actually resize and edit this as you'd like as well. I'll go into another video of how to actually edit these objects to be like specific shapes, and editing like cooler shapes and making different shapes using the corner tool or using the direct selection tool to make things a bit easier when you're doing things a bit quicker, for example, or making icons, that sort of thing. But yeah, when you do resize this, just keep in mind that you can edit this using these tags at the bottom as well. If you do want to create shapes from scratch, you can use the pen tool, but always remember when you're editing the corners or messing around with the anchor points of shapes, you can use the direct selection tool and do it this way. Say for example, yeah, we want to make this a bit rounded, you can do it that way. Don't know why that's there. Maybe it's a, yeah. So there you go. Hopefully that makes a bit of sense. Let me know if you've got any questions.